Monique is going viral again for notably pissing black women off. And this is something that she has a history of doing, although she tries to do it in a pleasant way. I would call it more of constructive criticism, but of course others are not going to take it like that in this generation. And the two things that Monique typically deals with younger black women on is, one, their particular attitude, and two, their presentation. Just 1 or 2 years ago, she was discussing how she was in the Atlanta airport and she saw these young black women that were coming through with bonnets on, right? And she really didn't appreciate it. For those of you who don't remember that clip, let's kind of go back and reminisce to kind of get the gist of what she's trying to get across.
Let's go get him in Jackson, Mississippi. And as we began to walk through the airport, I saw so many, actually too many to count, and too many for me to tap. But I saw so many of our young sisters in head bonnets, scarves, slippers, pajamas, blankets wrapped around them, and this is how they're showing up to the airport. And I've been seeing it, not just at the airport, I've been seeing it at the store, at the mall. I've been seeing sisters showing up with these bonnets and headscarves and their slippers. And the question that I'm having to you, my sweet babies, when did we lose pride in representing ourselves?
And now today, Monique is back at it again with another message about how all women want is money. And we know who she's talking to because she only has a particular sort of crowd that has this issue. And most entertainers don't have to say black, but we know they're talking about black issues. And I want to go ahead and play this video here and let's see what she's talking about.
Being with somebody that make you happy, that treat you special, and you can do the same. All I'm starting, not all, that's too general. I'm hearing a lot of how much money is involved. I'm hearing a lot of what's your stuff, what you bringing to the table. You hearing people say that a woman don't have to bring nothing to the table. Yes, what? And it don't have to be about the money. But wouldn't it be nice if she brought a good attitude? Wouldn't it be nice if she brought a nurturing disposition about herself? Wouldn't it be nice if she could make a goddamn cake from scratch? Wouldn't it be nice if you woke up Sunday morning, the house was filled up with Sunday dinner smells? Wouldn't it be nice? We are not talking about that no more. We're talking about how much money. And that is what I believe is just tearing our community down even further, my baby.
Let's look at the clip from Steve Harvey, because she said people are saying that women don't need to bring nothing to the table. And she goes, yes, the F they do. Let's play that clip in a reminiscence way. Like rewind, Dima.
What's wrong with this generation today? These young boys today, what do she bring to the table? The hell you mean, man? What do your ass bring to the table? You got a woman that can come to the table that can make another you. What else she need to slide up to the table with? What about your job? What happened to men who were supposed to be responsible? Do you know that it's our job to take care of a woman and some children, to have a family? That's our damn job.
But what happens to when the woman tell you, I don't need a man, Steve?
Well, they need to what? Okay, if you don't, how that's working?
All right. So this is very interesting from a lady like Monique, who seems to have changed in the last 5 to 10 years. Remember, she's married to Sydney Hicks, and when they got married, she was a big problem. According to her, the guy had to do a lot to deal with her in a relationship. She even had a clause like in their marriage where she could cheat openly and he could not. And the guy accepted it. But as time went on, she started to see the errors of her ways. And now Monique is looking at all of this like, you know, hey, I'm a boss chick. I'm a feminist. She's been humbled in her life. And she understands the meaning of having a good man and having a great relationship, especially in a community like ours that, you know, typically we don't have those things as much as we used to. And let me just say this. I do feel that men should take care of women, especially black men. I'm really big on that. I'm really big on being a provider, being big on taking care of your people. But this whole one-sided conversation, which is why black men need to provide everything, and then all you need to bring to the table is just yourself, when we are in an economy, which is the dating economy. This is a dating market. So what happens in a market, if you were to go into any grocery store, and if you could look at Safeway, and then let's say, for example, you had, formerly Ralph's or Kroger, these stores have to compete for the consumer. If that's the case, then Kroger could put up their prices however high as they want, or formerly Albertsons. I haven't been back in the States in a while, or Walmart grocery store. They could Whole Foods, they could put their prices up as much as they want because they would have no competition. And that's what you're seeing in the dating market. A lot of women in the black community feel like they can put their prices up as high as they want, as if they're their only competitor. Then what happens is you start seeing, we'll match your prices, we can deliver online. You start to see these people competing for the consumer, because the consumer has value, the consumer has money, the consumer can tell other people about the product. And so what happens is, because of that, you can get better suppliers. You can get people wanting to come into your store, things like that, right? There are a lot of different things that can happen if you make happy customers. Now, if you're a lady and you feel like you're the only thing on the dating market, and eligible guys have another alternative, that alternative might be them going someplace else. That's why we get passport bros, interracial dating, everything else, intercultural dating. You see a lot of black men that were dealing with African-American women, won't deal with them anymore. They're gonna go deal with women in the Caribbean, whatever, right? The Dominican, somewhere in the Pan-African world. And then it all comes back to this whole problem of, hey, it's a one-sided conversation. Don't you men deserve something? Wouldn't it be nice to have a woman that wants to cook for you? A lot of guys are like, hey, look, we can't even get a woman to do anything for us, unless it's in the bedroom. But I want to look at some more entitled behavior outside of what Monique is addressing in this clip. Check out this Keke Palmer clip. This is crazy, guys. This is, with her and Jason Lee on Hollywood Unlocked. But I want you guys to hear this and listen to this very well.
Gonna bring up. And then I've now seen your new man, and we could never have been roommates because we have a type.
Everybody tries to tell me that.
We have a type.
Do we have a type, or does a type have us? Period. I love who loves me.
I cannot.
The amount of people that come.
So that clip is interesting. Jason Lee, as we all know, is gay. So what he's implying in that small clip is, I've seen your new boyfriend. And the new boyfriend is, I don't know the guy's name. He's somewhere here in the picture. He's not that important, right? But Jason Lee obviously is attracted to the same man that she's dealing with. And she says, point blank, we all have a type, but does the type have us? In other words, Jason Lee, look, you might like somebody like that, but do they like you? It's really a shot at him if you think about it. But what she's saying is true. But let's kind of make that much bigger than what it is, Keke, because this is a guy that's a house husband. This guy is so unimportant that we can't even figure out what his name is, right? And when you Google his name, somebody else comes up that played on the Cowboys, something like that. So you mean to tell me that you had a type that was going to be a house husband, was not as successful as you, and you're 29 years old. You're not an old woman. You're still in part of your prime, right? Physically. So did you have that type? I don't think so. I think that you had a type, but did the type have you? This is why you see these ladies dealing with these guys now who are, look, Lizzo, Mike Wright. I at least know his name. Keke Palmer, who knows? Madonna, who knows? Erykah Badu, the guy named J-Ron Atkinson. Cher was dealing with Alexander Edwards. They all have a type. Every woman wants a man to take care of them, but you can't get it. Why can't you get it? And those are the questions that are never answered in Black America. It's just not. And those are the things that need to be answered because it needs to make sense. And you're seeing a lot of these times younger women in the industry, beautiful, younger. I mean, they're getting successful by the time they're 25, rich, and they're having a hard time in their physical prime getting a man that can be with them. They can get a man that can take care of them. They're dating. Like, I can understand if she was like 60, but in your prime of your life, you're dealing with a guy that you have to almost think about signing a prenup because he's gonna take your money because he don't have anything. That's a telling sign of the times we're in right now, and it's not looking good for a lot of ladies. But brothers, what do you think about this? This is your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson back at it again here with another episode of Fair Use. We're out.